Slow readers struggle, not because they can't read, but because they can't remember. Now, the truth is, the key to recall isn't actually memorization. It's your imagination. When you read with your imagination, you turn your book into your own movie. Instead of just seeing black text on a white page, you see story unfold. The characters, the scenes, the concept. That's what makes ideas stick. And this same principle is behind one of the most powerful recall tools I've ever used. The mind map. Now hear me out. If you don't harness the power of your imagination, which you already have, if you don't harness power while reading, you'll keep finishing books just to forget them. That's why most people consume knowledge, but they can't use them. Without tools like imagination and the mind map, all of that effort goes to waste. I'm Eddie Healing Jr., that's my trade name. Now I know this because when I apply the imagination, the mind map, when I apply those techniques through the Reading Genius course, I was able to recall 5 books in one afternoon, which I'm going to show you this video right here. That is the truth. And that's why I say that this is one of the most powerful recall tools that I've ever used. I was able to recall not just the main ideas, but the flow of the chapter, the details in the chapter. Now the thing is, it's not about memorizing. It's about connecting ideas in a way that your brain naturally does. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 2 techniques for you to recall much more, and it's going to be fun, that's for sure. Here goes the first step, the imagination, or what I like to call creating movie step. So now first, before you read, you want to play the movie version of the book first. Imagine the concept, the characters, the situation. And the key here is, do not be afraid of making mistakes. When you create your own movie and it turns out different from the book, so what? No one's gonna hurt you. No one's gonna throw you in a cold pool. So what I'm saying is, the only limit is your imagination. Allow yourself to be fully engaged with what you're about to read. Then, you turn that scene, your imagination, your movie, into your mind map. And today I'm going to show you how you can create your first very own mind map. Ready for that? Give me a second. Ta-da! I am back. You see my magic? I just summoned this paper out of nowhere. Just kidding. Now, to create your first mind map, what you're going to do, of course, at the center of the page, you want to put in the title of the book that you're reading. So I'm going to put TT for title. Abbreviate when it's needed. So I'm just showing you this, so you don't have to write a whole word, alakasam, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, right? If you see all those long words, you can abbreviate. Now, let's say, I just pull out this random book from my shelf. It's a book about Taekwondo, right? So, let me first just put this aside, and I'm gonna show you. So when you imagined about your book, right, just like I said, you put yourself in there, you put your characters, you imagine the scene, you imagine the events. So I'm imagining myself, kicking all the shopping boards. I'm imagining myself jumping really high and then kicking the enemy's head. See, I'm creating this movie, this action movie, kind of like Mission Impossible. But yeah, I'm putting myself in this book. I just did that really fast just so you can see. But when I really do this, and you can see that in the Reading Genius course, I spent like a few minutes doing this. And then, so this is a book about Taekwondo. So, well, I should actually just, write TKD. Alright, I got TKD here. So now, let's say, what are there in the book? So I imagine myself doing the kick. So I put kick in here, right? Kick. And I imagine myself doing jump, all right? Jump. Okay. And then there's one thing in Taekwondo called forms or kumse in Korean. So I'm going to put F for form. Okay, so now I've got these 3 branches and you want to draw another 2 open lines. So that is how I do it. And you just keep adding in, support information, support details, and you connect whatever word or ideas, concept, wisdom you get from the book into your mind map. So of course, this is just, a trial. I'm not going to run you through the whole process because that's gonna bore you. That's gonna be, a whole other technique. But if you want to learn more, of course, it is in the Reading Genius course. So now, your brain has the visual map of the book to replay, which makes recall effortless. And by the way, the imagination step shows up in another step as well. That's the dream state. Now, why dreaming? When you go through all of the Reading Genius method, the last one and the most important one to complete the whole mind map is to dream. Dream about what you've read. I broke this down in my last video. If you're interested to see more or hear more, definitely check this card out. I'm going to put in the top right of your screen. You can click that card and go to that video, or you can go to my channel and look for that video. But this is just the surface. If you want to see exactly how I use mind mapping inside Reading Genius course and apply this to yourself, apply this to your reading, definitely check the link down below in the description box. Click the link to get your own free lesson where I'll tell you more about the Reading Genius method and things that I didn't mention in this video. If you found this valuable to you, don't stop here. In the next video, I'll show you more on how Reading Genius has changed the way I read all the books I've owned. Go ahead, click here to see others videos I've made. And I'll see you there.